Hello all, welcome back to another video. In this video, we will learn about HTML forms. HTML form is used to collect the user input. In many instances, we fill forms. For example, when we want to join any university or book a flight ticket, we fill the form with our details. Thus, they gather any user's information and store the data. Now, let's learn about the list of tags we use to create forms. First is the form element, and it is used to create forms in HTML. Next is the label element. This helps the user to understand what needs to be entered as an input. The input element defines the single input field, and it is the most used form element, and it can be displayed in many ways depending on the type attribute. Now let's create a new file in the Visual Studio and name it as htmlforms.html. Also, I will modify the title as HTML forms. Now in the body section, I will start creating the form. As I said earlier, the first is the form element, and then comes the label element, which plays a vital role for the user to identify what needs to be done. Here in this label, I am giving the first name, and hence any user who is filling the form needs to enter their first name. Then we have to provide the input type for that particular label. I am giving the input type as text because it has to be filled with single line input field. Let's check the output in the browser. We can see the label and input displayed perfectly on the screen. Before creating the form, we will see briefly about various input types and its uses. Input type text. We prefer this type for entering user's name. Input type number. This defines a numeric input field. When we enter any user's age, we specify the number type. Input type email. When an user's email address is required, we mention this input type. Input type password hides the password with the asterisk symbol. Hence, it cannot be seen by anyone. Input type date allows the user to insert date. Input type tell indicates that it should contain a telephone number. Hence, the user should enter a telephone number. The input type radio is generally used for single selection. While filling the form, we have to choose the gender, male, female or others. In this case, we use the radio input type. Checkbox is used for multiple selection. Input type submit. Once a user completes the form, they submit it using the submit button. These are the frequently used input types. Based on the label, we must provide the required input type. In the next video, we will learn how to create HTML form using these different input types and label. Hope you all like the video and thanks for watching.